So, I'm about to go live here for the daily routine. Putting on a message delay. I'm adding my partner to moderate. And we'll be doing the meditation on the Buddha, the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary, and we will be doing a body weight workout here in a minute. Let me make sure that my moderator is on here. And then we will get started. So I have limited space. I'm sure you do too. I'm going to clean up this room and put on some music, mostly Alan Watts put to beats. Then we'll do this Tibetan Buddhist meditation on the Buddha, led by the Buddhist nuns at Shravasti Abbey, because I like their politics. This is the workout we're doing today in the format of a high-intensity interval training. Because I'm fundraising right now, I'm asking for help. So I'm doing a simple version of the routine that you can follow along with. If anything's too difficult, then just do the simplest version of whatever I have here for yourself. You can take a screenshot and follow along. These are the kickboxing combos I'm working on. These are the 8 or 9 exercises we'll be doing. We're gonna do a full body burpee, then squats, then push-ups, then sit-ups, then kickboxing, kicks, boxing, and then core exercises like high knees and head movement, right? So here's some of the boxing combos we're gonna be working on down here. If you wanna take a screenshot, you're welcome to practice along. That's the whole point, is that I want people to practice along with me, and my partner will be helping with the moderation while we do this. So, on that note, I'm gonna get started cleaning the room and put on some music, and we will begin the daily routine in just a minute here. So I encourage you to get your own spot to sit, get yourself some cushions to sit on for the meditation, a yoga mat, or a towel at least for the yoga, and have yourself a clear little corner that you can practice in. So let's see, I'm going to put on this music here in a minute, and we will get started. Hello. And again, I'm leaving the chat open for my partner to moderate and also to post the links because I'm fundraising. And at the same time, I encourage you to practice along with me instead of just chatting and commenting. Don't just watch, follow along. And part of that is cleaning up your own little space so that you can practice in.
So that is a nice little tangle. If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom myself, I may strangle. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. He knows that, but can't give it up, because death are so sweet.
So we've got the chat open today because I'm asking for help due to being laid off from my 2 jobs this past month. And I'm still looking for work, but I'm keeping up with my daily routine, meditation, yoga, and martial arts. So you can see in the comments how to help, and we'll get started here in a minute with the meditation, and then the yoga and the martial arts workout. But the sweeping is part of the meditation.
What
Okay. So we're gonna get started now.
The so-called real world will not discourage you from operating on your default settings. Because the so-called real world of men and money and power comes merely along on the fuel of fear and anger and frustration and craving and the worship of self. Our own present culture has harnessed these forces in ways that have yielded extraordinary wealth and comfort and personal freedom. The freedom all to be lords of our own tiny skull-sized kingdoms, alone at the center of all creation. This kind of freedom has much to recommend it. But of course there are all different kinds of freedom. And the kind that is most precious, you will not hear much talked about much in the great outside world of wanting and achieving and display. The really important kind of freedom involves attention and awareness and discipline, and being able truly to care about other people and to sacrifice for them over and over, in myriad, heavy little unsexy ways, every day. That is real freedom. That is being educated and understanding how to think. The alternative is unconsciousness, the default setting, the rat race, the constant gnawing sense of having had and lost some infinite thing. I know that this stuff probably doesn't sound fun and breezy or grandly inspirational the way a commencement speech is supposed to sound. What it is, as far as I can see, is the capital T truth with a whole lot of rhetorical niceties stripped away. You are, of course, free to think of it whatever you wish. But please don't just dismiss it as some finger-wagging Dr. Laura sermon. None of this stuff is really about morality, or religion, or dogma, or big fancy questions of life after death. The capital T truth is about life before death. It is about the real value of a real education, which has almost nothing to do with knowledge, and everything to do with simple awareness. Awareness of what is so real and essential, so hidden in plain sight all around us all the time, that we have to keep reminding ourselves over and over, this is water. 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 This is water.
So that's a nice little song. The last two songs we played. I like this style of music with like philosophy speech put to beats. So now we're gonna jump right into the meditation on the Buddha. It's 40 minutes long. I recommend that you follow along and sit, on some pillows with a blanket or a towel over your legs to keep your knees warm. And if you don't like this style, just put it on mute and just sit and follow your breath for the next 40 minutes. Sitting still and focused on your breath, relaxing and sitting upright.
We do the practices with this aspiration to be a benefit to beings, not to harm them, to benefit them. And in our understanding, the best benefit is to actually, for beings to be liberated from cyclic existence. And we aim to become Buddhas in order to help beings to be free in this way. So generate those thoughts in your own way. So Noble Children has laid out this sadhana for us, helping us to generate these various mind states. And she starts by having us think about all of our potential, all of the kind of positive qualities that we can develop. Infinite love, compassion, wisdom, skillful So imagine what it would feel like to be those qualities. Just let yourself be love, be wisdom, try to feel the expansiveness and peace in your heart, the wisdom that it takes to have this kind heart, to be unencumbered in any way, vast and expansive. You can take in everything that's happening in this world, reaching out to every being, human and otherwise, to benefit each one. So now imagine that these qualities of love, compassion, wisdom, skillful means appear in front of you in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha. So imagine this Buddha in front of you, in the space in front of you made of radiant, transparent light. He's sitting on a throne, above which is an open lotus flower and cushions of the sun and moon discs. This entire visualization is made of radiant, transparent light. But you're imagining a living being with a light body. So you feel yourself in the presence of the Buddha. But Buddha's body is golden in color. He wears the robes of a monastic. His right hand, with the palm down, rests on his right knee. And the earth touching mudra. And his left hand is in his lap holding a bowl of nectar. And this nectar is the medicine to cure our afflictions and all of our hindrances. And the Buddha's face is very beautiful. You can look at the Buddha's eyes. He's smiling, his eyes are smiling. He's looking at you with total acceptance. And as he looks at you, he's also encompassing all sentient beings. The Buddha's eyes are very peaceful, long and narrow. His lips are red and his earlobes are long. Imagine rays of light radiating from every pore of the Buddha's body. This golden light going out to all the parts of the universe, touching beings, carrying miniature Buddhas to help beings. And as they complete their work, they dissolve back into the Buddha. The Buddha is surrounded by the entire lineage of spiritual teachers, all the meditational deities, innumerable other Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors. And at the side, near each spiritual mentor, is an elegant table. Nana or Dharma books. And the sounds of the Dharma fill there. And they're all so happy that we're here doing this together. Imagine their minds just blissful and peaceful, gazing at all sentient beings. So you imagine that actually you are surrounded by all sentient beings in human form. Your mother of this life is on your left. Your father of this life is on your right. Any imagine in front of you, facing the Buddha, keeping them there for protection. Family and friends are nearby, countless strangers fill the space around you. And all of us are looking to the Buddha for guidance. So first we need to cultivate a sense of refuge. So we think of all the dangers of cyclic existence. Just think about how things are not secure. We run into dissatisfaction, often dukkha, often. And people, all the beings around us, all the sentient beings around us, are also in the same boat, floundering in cyclic existence. And many of them have not met any kind of teachings that will help them out of this quagmire. So we generate compassion. And now think of the wonderful qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and generate this sense of confidence in them, and their ability to guide you out of all of these recurring problems. To take refuge, we need causes, this kind of concern, this kind of alarm, fear, and also this confidence and faith, and the compassion. So it is possible, on the basis of your present life and mind, to free yourself from all of these undesirable experiences. It's a resolve to explore that possibility to the fullest. Feel great trust and confidence in the three jewels, and open your heart to rely upon them to guide you and others from all of these difficulties of cyclic existence, and bring us to the peace, liberation, and full awakening. So as we do these refuge verses, starting here, now we're on the top of page 21, we'll be taking refuge in the Buddha, and we imagine actually leading all of the sentient beings around us and going for refuge. And we visualize white, radiant light flowing from all of the Buddhas, the spiritual mentors, the Bodhisattvas, all of these holy beings flowing into us and all the beings around us. And this light completely purifies all of our destructive karmic imprints and afflictions. And it also brings all the realizations of the path. So put your hands in prayer position. Namo Guru Vya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guruvya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dharmaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Guruvya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. Namo Guruvya. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Dharmaya. Namo Sanghaya. So feel that you've come under the protection of the three jewels. And now we turn our thoughts to others and think about how much we depend on other beings for everything that we have, everything we know, everything we use, everything we enjoy. Our food, clothing, resources of every kind. These come due to the efforts of others. Our knowledge, talents, good qualities, these too are developed due to the kindness of others. And our ability to practice the Dharma certainly depends on others who brought the teachings to us over the millennia by generating realizations in their mind and teaching. So this is a very great kindness, all of these things we want to bring to mind. Our innermost wish is to be free from suffering. And this is the case for everyone else as well. We want to be happy. All beings want to be happy. And like us, they encounter many difficulties, problems, sufferings. And usually, actually, their difficulties are more so than our own. Not always, but often. And when we examine our capacity to help beings, we find that we're actually quite limited. And we know from our practice that if we can reduce our anger, our attachment, our ignorance, our various faults, and if we can increase all of our good qualities, we're really going to be in a position to benefit beings. Imagine if we had just this generous heart that gives so easily, takes delight in giving, the kind of ethics that doesn't harm, has that just ingrained fortitude, loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. We'll be in excellent position to help beings by having our good qualities developed. And if we develop them fully, like Buddha does, then we'll be able to be of the greatest benefit to beings. So we generate this altruistic intention in order to be able to benefit beings most effectively. So as we take refuge and generate bodhicitta, imagine that light is flowing into you from all of these Buddhas and holy beings, and it's flowing into you and all the sentient beings around you. So we're on the top of page 22. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha. by the merit I create, by engaging in generosity, and the other far-reaching practices may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create, by engaging in generosity, and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. I take refuge until I have awakened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By the merit I create, by engaging in generosity, and the other far-reaching practices, may I attain Buddhahood in order to benefit all sentient beings. So imagine the Buddha is so pleased with your altruistic intention, and a replica emerges from the Buddha, comes to the crown of your head, melts into golden light, flows into you. Feel that you and the Buddha have become inseparable. Feel very close to the Buddha, and allow your mind to be transformed and inspired. Let go of all conceptions you have about yourself. Let go of any self-denigrating thoughts. Let go of the concept of inherent existence and meditate on emptiness. As your heart appears a small Buddha made of light, he radiates the light of wisdom and compassion in all directions throughout the entire universe. And this light transforms all sentient beings into Buddhas, and all environments to pure lands, which are places where all the circumstances are conducive to practicing the Dharma and generating realizations. So imagine this. You've transformed all sentient beings into Buddhas, and all environments into pure lands. In your imagination, well, why hasn't this become a reality? We sentient beings have bias, prejudice, we lack love, compassion, and joy. So now we want to wish ourselves and others to have all of these qualities. So we contemplate the four immeasurables. We do this to reinforce our own felt experience of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity for everyone, friends, strangers, enemies, relatives, people you don't like, people you don't trust, anyone, everyone. So as we say those four immeasurables, you want to listen to yourself say the words and contemplate as you recite. We'll pause between each of the four. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free of suffering and its causes. May all
sentient beings not be separated from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free of bias, attachment, and anger.
So, in order to achieve what we've just been aspiring towards, we need to purify our negativities, and we need a lot of merit. We need to abandon things and adopt things. So when we do this 7-limb prayer, this encompasses all this abandoning and adopting of things. So we'll pause after each line. And you want to have your hands in the prayer position for this. Reverently I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind. So imagine yourself and all the beings, the sentient beings around you, making prostrations to all the holy beings in front of you in the field of merit, repeatedly prostrating. And present clouds of every type of offering, actual and mentally transformed. So imagine offering everything beautiful to the Buddha and all the holy beings. You can fill the sky with offerings, make it very lovely and beautiful. You can think of flowers and fields and just everything that you love. Offer it to all the holy beings. You can do this repeatedly. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginning this time. So now we do like a glance meditation of the 4 permanent powers. So for this, bring to mind something that you should purify, fault or mistake. Bring it clearly to mind and generate regret for that. And then the other permanent powers of taking refuge in generating bodhicitta, which we're doing in the practice. The practice itself will be the remedial action, but make a determination not to do this action again. And rejoice in the virtues of all holy and ordinary beings. So think of common sentient beings like ourselves, the holy beings, and delight and take, rejoice in all of the virtue created by any kind of being. Let go of any jealousy, envy, and just rejoice in the goodness of the world. Use your own life experience. Think of things, people that you want to rejoice. And the next verse. Please remain until cyclic existence ends. So now we offer a double dorje. This symbolizes long life. And we offer this to the holy beings. We do this requesting them to live long, to always be a part of our life. And you can do this multiple times in your imagination. And then the next verse. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. So again, make this offering. You're offering with both hands this beautiful 1,000-spoke Dharma wheel, golden in color. Offering this to the teachers and the Buddhas to guide you and to continue to teach the Dharma. seventh moon. I dedicate all the virtues of myself and others to the Great Awakening. So now we steer these limbs toward full awakening of ourself and all beings. Now we'll offer the mandala. Here we imagine everything beautiful in the universe, offering it to all the holy beings with the wish that they will continue to teach and guide us and that we can generate realizations in our mind. This ground anointed with perfume, flowers strewn, mounts made room for land, sun, and moon. Imagined as a Buddha land and offered to you, may all beings enjoy this pure land. The objects of attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, my body, wealth, and enjoyments, I offer these without any sense of loss. Please accept them with pleasure and inspire me and others to be free from the three poisonous attitudes. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniryatayami. So imagine all the holy beings just delighted, and they receive your offerings. And the offerings melt into light and dissolve into them, and these all absorb into the Buddha's heart. And then immediately he radiates light back to you, filling your body and mind. And this light inspires you to accomplish the path to full awakening. So in order to progress along the path, we need to develop realizations. And in order to do this, we need the inspiration of the lineage of spiritual mentors, especially your principal teacher or your root guru, who is the one who has touched your heart deeply. If you don't have a specific teacher, just think about Shakyamuni Buddha, or maybe you have a connection in your mind with his holiness. And we make this request on page 25. Glorious and precious root guru, sit upon the lotus and moon seat on my crown, guiding me with your great kindness. Bestow upon me the attainments of your body, speech, and mind. And so then, at this point, you imagine that a replica of your teacher in the aspect of the Buddha emerges from the Buddha in front of you. And it comes to sit on a lotus and moon disc on the crown of your head, facing the same direction as you. So then this Buddha on the crown of your head is going to act as an advocate for you to request inspiration from the entire field of merit as we continue with the request. And we're doing a long one on page 26. Buddha, unequal teacher and guide, venerable protector Maitreya, successor, superior Sangha prophesied by Buddha, to you three Buddhas and Bodhisattvas I make request. Buddha, head of the Shakya clan, the foremost guide, peerless in expounding emptiness, Manjushri, embodiment of the Buddha's complete wisdom, exalted Nagarjuna, best of the superiors who sees the profound meaning. To you three crowning jewels of clear exposition I make request. Atisha, upholder of this great vehicle, who sees the profundity of dependent arising. Drome Rinpoche, elucidator of this good path. To these two ornaments of the world I make request. Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of objectless compassion. Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the snowy land sages. Losang Grappa, I make request at your feet. Holder of the white lotus, embodiment of all the conqueror's compassion. Guide benefiting migrating beings in the land of snow mountains and beyond. Sole deity and refuge, Tenzin Gyatso, at your feet I make request. The eyes through whom the vast scriptures are seen. Supreme doors for the fortunate to would cross over to spiritual freedom. Illuminators whose wise means vibrate with compassion. To the entire line of spiritual mentors, I make request. So you imagine all of the figures in the field of merit melting into light and dissolving into the central figure of the Buddha in front of you. All the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, the Arhats, Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, all of these beings melt into light and dissolve into the central figure of Shakyamuni Buddha. And now Shakyamuni Buddha embodies the three jewels. And this Buddha absorbs into the Buddha on the crown of your head. And then as we recite the Buddha's mantra, try to let your mind be very open and receptive. Imagine this white light flowing into you from the Buddha on the crown of your head. It purifies all your negativities, all your obscurations, and it generates within you the realizations of the stages of the path. So we'll recite the Buddha's mantra together. Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha Mune Soha. 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 Tayata Om Mune Mune Maha establish the visualization of Shakyamuni Buddha above the crown of your head, made of golden, transparent, radiant light, a living being. And this Buddha melts into light and dissolves into you. Your body, speech, and mind become inseparable from those of the Buddha. And then we'll make the dedication prayers, starting on the page that we're on in the sadhana, which is 27. Due to this merit, may we soon attain the awakened state of Guru Buddha, that we may be able to liberate all sentient beings from their suffering. May the precious Bodhi mind, not yet born, arise and grow. May that born have no decline, but increase forevermore.
So that's the meditation on the Buddha, led by the Tibetan Buddhist nuns in the Shravasti Abbey in Washington State. And I practice that one every day because I like their politics. I study their teachings from that school of Buddhism, and I encourage you to do the same. They are generally liberal, leftist, environmentalist, feminist, Buddhist nuns. So that's why I like them. Moving on now, we're going to get into the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series. I see you there, Dan Hogan. Appreciate the comment. Thank you for moderating, Tati. I appreciate you for taking care of it. Yes, it's yoga time. So I'm going to put on some more Alan Watts type speeches put to music. And we will jump right into the practice because I have to go do some shopping later for groceries thanks to the people who donated. Even though I'm unemployed right now, I'm able to go get some groceries and pay the rent, and somebody paid the utility bill, and I appreciate them a lot. So if you're watching this, please like, share, and subscribe, but also follow along and practice. So yes, thank you so much. Let's see. This is the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, so I'm going to open with a short Sanskrit mantra, which basically means thank you to the teachers of the past, present, and future for bringing this practice to us, because this practice helps alleviate the suffering. And specifically, they refer to Patanjali in this mantra that I'm about to do. Then I'm going to pick up these pillows and we'll jump right into the practice. Om Vande Gurunam Charanarda Vinde Sandarshita Svatma Sukhava Bodhe Nirshe Se Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankasakrasi Darinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. And on that note, I'll put the music back on and we'll begin. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. Join me for the yoga practice now, but also consider donating. I'm asking for donations because I was laid off from my 2 jobs this past month, and I'm looking for work. I've got job interviews lined up next week, but in the meantime, I still have to pay the bills, get food, cat food, and so on. So on that note, we will begin.
If a beautiful lady should say to me, I love you, and I were to reply, are you serious or are you just playing with me? That would be quite the wrong response. Because I hope she's not serious and that she will play with me.
I should say, are you sincere, or are you just toying? Because you see, the word play has many different senses. The person who is playing the organ in church is certainly not doing something trivial. When you go to see a play called Hamlet, you're not seeing something trivial. When the concert artist plays Mozart, he is certainly entertaining you, but it's not a trivial entertainment. But on the other hand, we would use play in quite a different sense, when we mean just fooling around, doing it for kicks. Doing it for kicks. Doing it for kicks. So it is fundamental, as a matter of fact, to both the Hindu and the Christian tradition, that the universe is the play of God. But the Christian thinks of it in the terms of construction play, like building blocks. The Hindu thinks of it as dramatic play, of the actual participation of the Godhead in the creation, so that every being whatsoever is God in disguise, doing it for kicks. God in disguise, kicks. God in disguise, doing it for kicks. God in disguise, doing it for kicks. Doing it for kicks. God in disguise, kicks. God in disguise, doing it for kicks. God in disguise, doing it for kicks.
So let's begin. And again, this is the short version of the Ashtanga Yoga primary, and I invite you to join me. Practice along.
Akira.
Question, I guess, that keeps coming up to me was, what are we supposed to do?
Well, I keep saying, de-emphasize anxiety. Reassure people. You meet people who say, I'm really scared. I'm scared about my job. I'm scared. And says, don't worry. You don't know enough to worry. That's God's truth. Worry. Who do you think you are that you should worry, for crying out loud? Don't worry. That's God's truth. It's a total waste of time. It presupposes such a knowledge of the situation that it is in fact a form of hubris. Now what you do is just pay your bills and, pack heat if you need to, and don't worry. That's all. Yes. Worry is praying to the devil. That's great. Worry is betting against yourself. Wi Po Yang, a great Chinese Taoist who wrote many, many commentaries on the I Ching. He was asked at the end of his life what was his conclusion of a life of studying the I Ching. He said, worry is preposterous. That was it. Don't worry. You don't know enough to worry. That's God's truth. Worry. Who do you think you are that you should worry, for crying out loud? Don't worry. That's God's truth. Worry. You don't know enough to worry. That's God's truth. Worry. Who do you think you are that you should worry, for crying out loud? Don't worry. That's God's truth. Worry is preposterous. Don't worry. Worry is preposterous.
I tell you, it is preposterous.
Governments, if they endure, always tend increasingly towards aristocratic forms. No government in history has been known to evade this pattern. And as the aristocracy develops, government tends more and more to act exclusively in the interests of the ruling class. Whether that class be hereditary royalty, oligarchs of financial empires, or entrenched bureaucracy, all governments suffer a reoccurring problem. Power attracts pathological personalities. It is not that power corrupts, but that it is magnetic to the corruptible. Such people have a tendency to become drunk on violence, a condition to which they are quickly addicted. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. There exists a limit to the force even the most powerful may apply without destroying themselves. Judging this limit is the true artistry of government. Misuse of power is the fatal sin. The law cannot be a tool of vengeance, never a hostage, nor fortification against the martyrs it has created. You cannot threaten any individual and escape the consequences. Good government never depends upon laws, but upon the personal qualities of those who govern. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. The machinery of government is always subordinate to the will of those who administer that machinery. The most important element of government, therefore, is the method of choosing leaders. We should grant power over our affairs only to those who are reluctant to hold it, and then only under conditions that increase the reluctance. Trust no government. 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 If there is no enemy, one must be invented. The military force which is denied an external target always turns against its own people.
The five most important skills are reading, writing, arithmetic, persuasion, which is talking, and then finally I would add computer programming. If you're good with computers, if you're good at basic mathematics, if you're good at writing, if you're good at speaking, and if you like reading, you're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life. To me, foundational things are principles. They're algorithms. They're deep-seated logical understanding where you can defend it or attack it from any angle. That's why microeconomics is important. Because macroeconomics, a lot of memorization, a lot of macro bullshit, as Nassim Taleb says, it is easy easier to macro bullshit than it is to micro bullshit. Because macroeconomics is voodoo complex science meets politics. You can't find two macroeconomists to agree on anything these days. And different macroeconomists get used by different politicians to peddle their different pet theories. There are even macroeconomists out there now peddling something called modern monetary theory, which basically says, hey, except for this pesky thing called inflation, we can just print all the money that we want. Yes, except for this pesky thing called inflation. That's like saying, instead of limited energy, we can fire rockets off into space all day long. It's just nonsense, but the fact that there are people who have macroeconomists in their title and are peddling modern monetary theory just tells you that macroeconomics as a so-called science has been corrupted. It's a branch of politics. The 5 most important skills are reading, writing, arithmetic, persuasion, which is talking, and then finally I would add computer programming. If you're good with computers, if you're good at basic mathematics, if you're good at writing, if you're good at speaking, and if you like reading, you're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life. So if you really want to focus on the foundations, the ultimate foundation are mathematics and logic. If you understand logic and mathematics, then you have the basis for understanding the scientific method. Once you understand the scientific method, then you can understand how to separate truth from falsehood in other fields and other things that you're reading. So be very careful about reading other people's opinions, and even be careful about reading facts, because so-called facts are often just opinions with a mirror around them. What you really are looking for is algorithms. What you're really looking for is understanding. It's better to go through a book really slowly and struggle and stumble and rewind than it is to fly through it quickly and say, well, now I read 20 books, 30 books, 50 books in the field. It's like Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the man who knows 1,000 kicks and 1,000 punches. I fear the man who's practiced one punch 10,000 times or one kick 10,000 times. It's the understanding that comes through repetition and through usage and through logic and foundation that really makes you a smart thinker. The 5 most important skills are reading, writing, arithmetic, persuasion, which is talking, and then finally I would add computer programming. If you're good with computers, if you're good at basic mathematics, if you're good at writing, if you're good at speaking, and if you like reading, you're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life. You're set for life.
recognition. Once you realize that the humans are not logical machines, we're pattern recognition machines. Pattern recognition machines. And it's that pattern recognition that isn't very good. Pattern recognition is what makes you a racist. Pattern recognition is what makes you an ageist, a sexist, everything bad, because your patterns are all you have. You're not really a logical person who reasons everything out. Your brain isn't big enough. You wouldn't have enough time. So instead, you default to these little biases, which are determined by patterns. We're pattern recognition machines. Pattern recognition machines. Your patterns are all you have. You're not really a logical person. Now the problem is, many of those patterns are fake. Let's say you had met 3 Elbonians in your life, and every one of them slapped you in the face with a glove. The next time you met an Elbonian, you'd be like, oh, no thank you, I don't want to get slapped in the face with a glove. Those last 3 Elbonians were pretty rough on me. But it's only 3 Elbonians. The odds that your pattern is predictive, probably low. Probably low. We fall victim to patterns, but you can also use patterns to convince people of things. If you are consistent, people say, oh, this person's always honest. So patterns are a tool, but they're also our biggest defect. They're also our biggest defect. We're pattern recognition machines. Pattern recognition machines. Your patterns are all you have. You're not really a logical person. We're pattern recognition machines. Pattern recognition machines. Your patterns are all you have. You're not really a logical person. Understanding the brain as a visualization machine is very, very important. Very, very important. Because visualization is the biggest, most powerful part of your brain. It's the part that influences you most. Understanding the brain as a visualization machine is very, very important. Very, very important. Because visualization is the biggest, most powerful part of your brain. It's the part that influences you most.
Now, I want to put it 2 ways. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, something to be condemned, to take your own individual life seriously in dead earnest, and to have all the problems that go with that. Do you understand that being that way, that being a real mixed up human being is a manifestation of nature? That is something just like patterns on the waves out here. Patterns on the waves. on the wave. Patterns on the wave. Patterns on the wave. Or like a seashell. You know, we pick up shells. I always keep one around, sort of an example. Many things. Say, my goodness, isn't that gorgeous? There's not an aesthetic fault in it anywhere. It's absolutely perfect. Now, I wonder if these fish look at each other's shells and say, don't you think she's kind of fat? Oh my, those markings aren't really very well spaced. Because that's what we do. Patterns on the wave. Patterns on the wave. That's what we do. Patterns on the wave. Patterns on the wave. That's what we do. See, we don't realize that all of us in our various goings on and behavior and so on are just as and more marvelous, much more complicated, much more interesting. All these gorgeous faces that I'm looking at, you know, every one of them, some are supposedly pretty, some are supposedly not so pretty, but they're all absolutely gorgeous, and everybody's eyes is a piece of jewelry beyond compare. Patterns on the wave. Patterns on the wave. That's what we do. Patterns on the wave. Patterns on the wave. That's what we do.
If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. Music, please. Please, 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 please.
Akira.
Nice. Now, every lecture I've ever given has included my tribute to my Uncle Alex, my brother Kid brother, who was a graduate of Harvard and a wise man, but just an insurance salesman in Indianapolis. He was childless. But what Uncle Alex found objectionable about so many human beings is that they so seldom noticed it when they were happy. And so we would be sitting under an apple tree, for instance, on a July afternoon drinking lemonade and, you know, talking about this and that that's practically buzzy like honeybees. And Uncle Alex would stop everything and say, wait a minute, stop. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. again and again, and it was very good advice, and I've taken it up. And I hope that you will take up this habit too, of noticing when things are really awfully nice, and say, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. And say, if this isn't nice, I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. If this isn't nice, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. For everybody here. For everybody here.
So this has been the Ashtanga Yoga primary series, the short version. And next we're going to do the body weight martial arts workout. So I'm going to end the yoga practice with the closing mantra, and then we'll move into the martial arts workout, and we'll shift gears, kind of shifting up into a more intense music, more intense activity. Om Swasti Prajabhyaha Palipalayantam Nayena Margena Mahimahishaha Go Brahmanebhyaha Palipala Shivamatsu Nityam Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So that mantra basically means good luck to those who lead with wisdom and compassion. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. Peace, peace, perfect peace. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. So my partner just passed me the watch so that I can do the martial arts workout with the timer on the watch. And so we're going to be doing 30 to 60 second rounds of 8 or 9 different exercises. There will be 4 exercises that are just body weight calisthenics, simple exercises that you can follow along with. And I'm doing a simple version of this workout that we're about to do together, in part because I'm doing this as the fundraiser. And then the second set of 4 exercises is kickboxing, kicks, boxing, and then core. We're going to do head movement and or high knees for the core exercise. So I'm doing a simpler version that everyone can follow along with. I'm going to chug my pre-workout here and we'll get started here in about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to roll up this mat, put it out of the way. But today I'm focused on working on some kickboxing combos in addition to the boxing combos that I've been working on. So we'll get to that in just a second. I'm going to go off of memory for my boxing combos, but the kickboxing ones are written here. If you want to take a screenshot and follow along with that, the exercises are there too. And then later in the week, ideally starting tomorrow, I'm going to start switching it up to the exercises we've been doing all week that are related to the techniques I've been focusing on for the past 2 months. So that's what's going on right here. So I'll put on some music, we'll get pumped up, and then we'll begin. So get ready to practice with us.
What they want want to do,
We're gonna do some kickboxing.
but they don't know where to start. And so they say, hey, where do I start? And when's the best time to start? Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? Where do I start? And when's the best time to start? And I have a very simple answer for that. Here. And now. That's it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? You start right here. And when do you start? You start right now. Right now. Right now. You initiate the action aggressively. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? The idea isn't going to execute itself. And the book isn't going to write itself. And the weights out in the gym, they're not going to move themselves. You have to do it. And you have to do it now.
Push-ups.
And that means you gotta stop thinking about it and stop dreaming about it and stop researching every aspect of it and reading all about it and debating the pros and cons of it. Just start doing it. You want to improve? You want to get better? You want to get on a workout program or a clean diet? You want to start a business? You want to write a book or make a movie or build a house or a computer or put together some mobile application? You want to improve? You want to get better? Go. You want to improve? You want to get better? Take that first step and make it happen. Get after it. And get after it here and now.
Alright. Now we're gonna work on these kickboxing combinations.
You want to make sure that you always inject novelty. It's what triggers memory. Because your brain will get bored of the sameness, so you need to trigger memory and attention with contrast. Is a way to get people to move from where they are to where you want them to be. You just say, well, it's much less expensive than this. So contrast is one of the most important buttons. Use contrast often. Hey, you don't want to be this bad. You could be over here. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. If it's complicated, your brain has a tendency to just flush it out. Can't deal with it, flush it out. The fake because is a form of pseudo-logic. Sometimes you need to get people moving with a fake reason that doesn't even actually pass logical standards. But people don't need logical reasons. Just look at politics. People have incredibly different opinions, and many of them are smart. So if you've got smart people opposite sides of basically every issue, you can see that they don't need real reasons. We're not a species that operates on real reasons. We'll take a fake reason, we'll take one we made up, we'll take a guess, we'll follow our friends. Once you understand that people don't need real reasons, it frees you. Because if you're locked in a little world at a lower level of awareness where you say, well, I'm not going to convince somebody unless I have a real reason. Sorry, that's not the reality any of us live in. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good if you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Once you know you don't need them and that reality can be authored, you're in better shape. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity, our brains are just simple machines.
Follow along if you can. Or do your own version of body exercise. Full body burpee for 30 seconds. Then legs. Then squats, then push-ups, then sit-ups.
I've been lucky. I've been blessed. I've had a life that I would not trade with anyone in the world. When you talk about Ramadi, that was the highlight of my life. Because I was leading men in combat, which was something that I always wanted to do. And something that I felt that I was destined to do. And when I was in that situation, I knew that. I don't look back and say, oh, I wish I would have enjoyed that. No, I knew it then. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is what you have been waiting for your whole life and what you really have been preparing for your whole life. And I was lucky to be there, and I was lucky to have incredible guys to work with. I was lucky enough to have guys that were so brave and so dedicated. I will use the word fearless, not that they didn't have fear, but that they overcame it all the time. And so I'd say if there's anything that I struggle with now, it's just that. Does anything else matter? And the answer is no. The answer is no. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is close. And so you
There's the kickboxing combos I'm looking
have
at.
to deal with that. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. And I don't sit there at night wishing I was back. Well, okay, I do that guys, and I try and keep their memory alive. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day.
Gets these kicks.
What do I do when I'm broken? When I'm broken, I relish it. 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 That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use it. Because if I'm broken, then I just found my limitations. And until I know what my limitations are, how can I push them? How can I get better? But once I feel it, once I see where I was broken, then I can attack that weakness. I can fill in that gap. I can reinforce that breach. If you break, it means it's time to fortify your will to make it stronger. When I'm broken, I relish it. I relish it. I relish it. I relish it. When I'm broken, I relish it. I relish it. I relish it. I relish it. And look, there's all kinds of different ways to break. You can break physically, you can break mentally, you can break your heart, you can break your spirit. And none of those are fun. And all of those are gonna leave a mark. But the mark that they leave can be the mark of victory or it can be the mark of defeat. Because every time you break and in every way that you break, it's a chance, it's definitely a chance for you to give up and for you to just to fall apart. But there's also opportunity. There's opportunity. you crawl up and out of that dismal and wretched place. And you're covered in blood and sweat and dirt and filth as you rise above what you were. And as you take the form of who you are supposed to be, you will see in the very act of standing up, in the very act of fighting on, you will become and you will remain unbroken.
Kicks.
Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Alright, push-ups. 25.
Akira.
Do you know who Akira the Dawn is?
I can't speak with Akira.
Negativity, that internal feeling pulling at you. That is our natural state. That is our natural state. We're being summoned to move. We earn the positivity in our heart, in our soul, by the positive actions we undertake that preserve us. That's how we stay self-governed. morning. If we just woke up feeling perfect, we wouldn't do shit. We'd be the guy on the couch. You guys gotta realize, some are so subdued by their overeating, by their vice, by their negativity, that they just don't get. They're being told to something greater, being summoned from above. But why today? Told to something greater, being summoned from above. But why today? Why today was I so fucking negative, so angry and frustrated? Perfect. That means I've just been slacking on myself, on my personal development, and I need to go harder. Negativity, that internal feeling pulling at you, that is our natural state. That is our natural state. We're being summoned to move. Negativity, that internal feeling pulling at you, that is our natural state. That is our natural state. We're being summoned to move. Perfect. If you're that much more negative, go that much harder. That means your call is greater. Your call is greater. Why? How does this make sense? Wisdom is problems overcome. Negativity inside of us is the greatest problem that ever existed. It's ruined more lives than anything. It's basically the culprit of what causes you to partake in vices. If you woke up feeling perfect, would you run to that drink? If you woke up and everything was right, would you smoke that shit? Would you twist that joint? No, you're doing that because something is pulling at you. Just enough. Oh, I got this anxiety. Oh, I can't sleep. Oh, I just gotta forget about this shit. It's fucking tearing me up inside. I mean, I never met anyone that didn't have negativity that pushed them towards something that they didn't want to do. Negativity, that internal feeling pulling at you, that is our natural state. That is our natural state. We're being summoned to move. Negativity, that internal feeling pulling at you, that is our natural state. That is our natural state. We're being summoned to move. This is where we change it all. We flip that negative. We realize that anger, that frustration, that's just energy in motion. And we use that energy to get into motion to building the life of our dreams. I like that. This contrast created from feeling like such shit, such garbage, stepping into something we don't want to do for the greater good, to feel better on the other side, is what builds us the most. This is what does it. Literally, inaction breeds more fear, more doubt. Action, self-investment, that breeds self-love, that breeds self-respect. 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 Action, self-investment, that breeds self-love, that breeds self-respect.
Full body burpee.
You once said that if you were growing up in this generation that you would have a field day because you would take their souls. What did you mean by that?
The younger generation quits. Not everybody. So I gotta put it. People get their butt hurt. So not everybody. Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. It's so easy to be great nowadays. Most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it. And I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? I don't want to take showers and eat either. I hate that too. That's life, man. terrified. I hated going to school, so guess what? I was dumb as shit. 1 plus 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. 1 plus 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. On the other side is greatness. 1 plus 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. On the other side is greatness. That's what people are saying. By me running, I am callous in my mind. I'm not training for a race. I'm training for life. I'm training for the time when I get that 2 o'clock in the morning call that my mom is dead or something happens tragic in life. I don't fall apart. I'm training my mind and my body and my spirit so it's all one, so I can handle what life is going to throw at me. Because the life I've lived throws a whole bunch at you. And if you're not physically and mentally prepared for that, you're just going to crumble. 1 plus 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. On the other side is greatness. 1 plus 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. On the other side is greatness.
Akira. He's got clout. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. One heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Hold on. You'll be a man, my son.
Techniques, you know, do it. I'm just gonna go down this list of kickboxing combos I'm trying to learn. We got big jab, lead hook, low kick. Jab cross, left kick. We got jab cross, teep, roundhouse.
Stand by to get up. First thing, when a revolution happens, they take over the radio stations because they want to get right into the thoughts of the people. It's going into your brain. It's words. You ever heard of Akira the Don? Just press play. Rome was built
low cross, right knee.
We all know that. Everyone hears that. But Rome also didn't fall apart overnight either. It took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak, but it also took hundreds of years for Rome to decay and fall apart. And that is representative of life. You don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time. They take struggle. They take relentless pursuit day in and day out. That's what it takes. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch every single second. Every single second, because every second counts. 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 Also, things don't usually fall apart quickly either. It's a slow process. Slip here, a little setback over there, a little wearing down of discipline and will over time. So that's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. That's why I say you've got to pay attention. That's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch every single second. Every single second, because every second counts. 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 Because those seconds, they turn into minutes. And minutes turn into hours. Hours turn into days. And days turn into years. That second that just went by, that counted. And so did that second. And so did that one. And in those precious seconds, you were either building or you were decaying. You were either gaining ground or you were losing ground. In that second. And in every second. That's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch every single second. Every single second, because every
That's it for the cooking. I just did a 5-minute round. That's it for the kickboxing. Here's some kicks to finish. Seconds of boxing.
Do you know who Akira the Dawn is?
Of course, he's amazing.
Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. And these systems have been around forever. Been around forever. Have been around forever. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. The same system to getting fit, getting rich, changing your physique has been around forever. Hypertrophy training and proper macronutrients. But can you stick to it? Can you stick to it? The same system for being financially sound or independent has been around forever. Understanding the compound effect, compounding interest, letting your money work for you. Can you be disciplined enough to get enough money to have it work for you? Can you be disciplined enough to drop the weight and keep it off? Would I be Wes Watson if I was fucking 40 pounds heavier? No. Would I be able to stay as disciplined as I need to if I was still drinking on the weekend? No. Would I be where I'm at today if I didn't have my daily routine?
We'll cool down, listen to the rest of the song.
Losers have goals and dreams.
Wrap it up.
Loser. Winners have systems. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. Crazy. We're all not that different. Just different habits. Confucius said that. Confucius said that. Everybody's the same, just different habits. So I'm going to tell you guys exactly how to do this.
So if you're just tuning in, rewind to the beginning, do meditation, yoga, martial
And you
arts.
start to feel that high.
We just finished. This is
start
the
to
workout.
vibe high.
If you want to take a screenshot and give it a
Then you
try,
start to see the value in looking better and feeling better.
please like, share, and
Before
subscribe.
that, you will have dropped your vices. All alcohol, all drugs, and everything's got to go. Now you're
Listen
really
to the song when
understanding
it ends.
that this
We'll
is the
close
best
the
you've
live
ever
stream.
felt. You've had
And then
money.
you should rewind and
You've had
start
everything going your
from the
way.
beginning and
You never
practice.
felt this good. So this trumps all of that. If I choose to self-sabotage myself, my frequency is so low that I can't see all the great things in my life. So the first thing you need to do is get yourself into that high-frequency lifestyle and become attached to it. Once you've done that, then you can teach others to do exactly what you did. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. And these systems have been around forever. Been around forever. Have been around forever. Losers have goals and dreams. Loser. Winners have systems. So the world is easy once you make it as a person.
So yeah, most important part, hygiene, diet, hydration, cleaning up afterwards. But we do the meditation, then the yoga, then the martial arts because the ethical framework of the Buddhist practice is very important. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for